Peace, family. Welcome to Beyond the Block, where culture and commentary are unfiltered. I am your host, Mr. Joyner, and if you've been rocking with me for a little bit, you're starting to see things are changing here and there. Like right now, you see that it's a nice, vibrant, bright blue in here. Been putting that elbow grease in, trying to get my man cave / studio where I do all my content to make it look like something. You know what I mean? I'm not in no competition with anyone. I'm just trying to carve my own lane. So when I do make my content, it look like something in here. I'm not looking like I'm sitting in a dungeon, or it actually looks like, a spare room in a house somewhere. You know what I mean? I want it to look like something. So I appreciate all the positive comments out there. Keep them up. All the haters out there, y'all keep sending y'all comments too. I just delete them. But let's just get into it, all right? So the one topic that's got the hip hop community buzzing right now is these Jim Jones comparisons. All right. Now it started when I started seeing comments about who's the better MC, Jim Jones or Styles P. And Styles P quickly got out there and was like, yo.
Me and Jim ain't in the same league. Me and Jim don't do the same thing.
Yeah, don't.
I am a bar master. I am a lyrical technician. I've been on joints with some of the best MCs in the world. Big, Hov, Black Thought, Talib. I bar shit down. When Rakim tells you you nice, KRS tells you you nice, Big tells you you nice, Hov tells you you nice, Nas tells you you nice, all these people tells you you nice, you're fucking nice.
Respect.
I'm not here to make catchy hooks and do dope shit. I don't knock that. I'm trying to say some shit that's gonna make your soul. There's gonna be some shit you may catch 10 years later down the line. So me and Jim don't do the same thing. I am a bar master. I'm master ip of this shit. There's not many people in my age group that have the amount of catalog I have.
And I tend to agree with him. I really would not compare Styles P to Jim Jones. See, when you talking about who's better, I always like to ask, what matrix are we going by? Because if we just spitting opinions at each other, this conversation can go on forever. And that's why I like having conversations about hip hop, because everybody's going to have their own opinion. Everybody has their own idea of what hip hop is for them. And you should be free to share that with anybody, any fan of hip hop. So I won't compare them to. But I also too find that Jim Jones is always finding himself in a position where he has to defend his position. He has to defend where he is in the game. Like, don't get it twisted. Jim Jones has been in the game for years. He has been doing his thing. He has albums. He has number one hits. Like, he's doing his thing. But some people feel like, yeah, he's there, but he's not doing as much as he should. So when he was on the podcast, Jada and Joe and Jada, which y'all should check it out because that podcast is really funny. Them two together is an unlikely pair, but they are hilarious together. But Jim Jones was on that podcast and he started going off.
I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the Billboard entries, pull up Nas Billboard entries, then pull up my Billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there. I want to go down the line now, because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
Now, when you start telling people to pull up numbers, now we talking. Now you gave us a definitive matrix to go by to determine whether who's the better artist, Jim Jones or Nas. Now, I know I'm not right after he said that, I know I'm not the only person that took to Billboard, took to the internet to find out what his entries are. And if you are curious, you're in the right place, because I got them numbers for you right here. So as of 2025, Jim Jones has 2 songs that made it to the Billboard Top 100. And one of those songs made it to the top 10. And that was We Fly High. Now, I'm not going to take no slander for We Fly High. We Fly High was a banger. And it still is. Every summer, people rocking that joint, especially out there in New York. You feel me? I know I bump it out here. So that's just me. You know, but if you're interested, the other song that the two songs that made it was We Fly High and Pop Champagne. Pop Champagne was a banger too. He has 9 albums on the Billboard's 200. Of those 9 albums, only 1 is platinum and 1 is gold. The platinum joint was Hustler's POME, Product of My Environment, and the gold was, what was it? Harlem Diary of a Summer. Yes, Harlem Diary of a Summer. That one was gold, and POME, that went platinum. Okay? Now, any artist will tell you, it's not easy to go gold, and it's damn sure not easy to go platinum, because you got to sell units. You got to push units. Some artists' songs don't go gold or platinum for years, depending on the hype the song got. Like if it got a good push in the beginning and it caught instant traction and it was a banger, you might go platinum quick. But most people don't have that type of luck. You know what I mean? But they still strive to go platinum. They still strive to go gold. You know? So those numbers aren't to be shunned. But I took it a step further. I took it even a step further. I went to Spotify. I went to Spotify to see how many monthly listeners Jim Jones has. And as of 2025, as of right now, this month, he has a little over 860,000 monthly listeners. Again, those are good numbers. That's nothing to sneeze at. You have a great following. But it's just not compared to Nas's. I'm sorry. It is what it is. These are the numbers. Facts over feelings. Research over me search. You feel me? These are the facts. These are the numbers he asked us to pull up. And I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I just wanted to see exactly where they were. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to assume anything. I wanted to see exactly where these numbers are. And as of 2025, Nas has 27 singles on Billboard's Hot 100. We're not even going to go over how many of them were number one. We're just going to save it. We're just going to continue. All right? 21 albums on the Billboard 200. All 17 of his solo albums are on there. His collab album with Damian Marley, his group album with The Firm, and his 2 lost tapes. 21. Right there. And of those 21 albums, 8 of them went platinum and 3 went gold. And of those platinum albums, 1 went triple platinum, 1 went double platinum. But I gave the same due diligence to Nas like I did for Jim Jones. So I went to Spotify and I went to Nas's monthly listeners. And Nas has 9.2 million monthly listeners. So there it is. Those are the numbers. According to Billboard, Billboard says Nas is the better artist. Now, like I said, when we having these conversations, I like to know what the matrices are. What are we going by? How are we determining who is the better artist? And Jim Jones said we need to go by Billboard entries. And that's what we did, folks. And as of right now, Nas is the better artist. But I don't want that to take anything away. That doesn't take anything away from Jim Jones. He's still out there doing his thing. He's still out there moving units. He's still out there working with people. You know what I mean? He stays relevant. He stays consistent. And you can't take that away from him. I just wish he can stop staying in the news and negative lights. Because as of late now, since he did the interview with Joe and Jada and that interview with Shannon Sharpe and Ocho, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Because he went on there and said, yo, I was tweaking a little bit when I was talking about pulling Nas numbers. He said, but I would wrap circles around Nas. Great way to double down, brother. You could wrap circles around him. Okay. The only way I can solve that is get y'all in the booth. But Nas is not even concerned about this shit, because you didn't even hear nothing. They brought up stuff from 2005 what Nas was saying about Jim. And back then, I think they had real beef. You know what I mean? But rapping circles around Nas, I don't see. Because we seen how y'all handled, how you and the rest of the Dipset handled the locks. We seen that. So y'all went down going against the locks. I don't know how you going to fare by yourself against Nas. Rapping circles, you may be able to keep up, but rapping circles, nah, bro. That's not happening. That has never happened. Never. Since y'all been out. Because what? He had to have been in high school when Nas came out. Yeah, and it hasn't happened since Nas came. Nah, it's not gonna happen, bro. You may be able to keep up. You may be able to keep it entertaining. It's definitely gonna be a show. It's definitely gonna be a classic. But you're not gonna wrap circles around him, bro. I don't see that happening. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think Nas is the better artist than Jim Jones, or vice versa? Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Holla at your boy. 1.